Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Shuba. I like to read books, and also lately I've been trying to find the artist from within me. And what I mean by that is that the last few weeks I've been going through The Artist's Way. It's a 12-week course in finding your artist within you, rediscovering your creative self. And I've been documenting my journey from the last few weeks. I just finished week 3, and I'm not going to say that the last 3 weeks have been easy. They've been rewarding, they've been challenging, but they've been necessary in kind of learning more about myself and figuring out the type of artist that I want to be. We are officially on week 4, and I have heard horror stories. This is the week of reading deprivation. Reading deprivation is exactly what you think it means, and I'm changing it up a little bit. The Artist's Way was written 30 years ago. Social media did not exist back in the day, and like I said, I read books, and I can't imagine not reading anything all week. I think I would actually go crazy. The whole point of reading deprivation is to silence our external distractions and take a moment for ourselves. Most times we can't even hear our inner voice or find inspiration because we're too busy thinking and doing other things. Julia Cameron even says that reading deprivation is a powerful but terrifying tool, and I'm scared because I don't think I will be able to follow through with it. And that's why I'm documenting this, and we're going to do this together. I chose to change this from a reading deprivation to more of a social deprivation and social media detox is because I'm constantly doom scrolling. I'm constantly on Twitter and Instagram, and I mindlessly just scroll, and I need to cut that out of my life to better myself, but also I feel like I can utilize that time by doing something else, doing something more productive, creating art. By depriving myself from social media, this should also give me a chance to hone in on what I actually want to do. Just think about what art I want to create and how I want my artist's way to look long term. And with that, welcome to my channel, welcome to this video. And if this is your first time here, it's either gonna be a great video or I'm gonna be embarrassed. But I hope you're along for the ride. Let's get started with this video, and let's cut back on social media for the week, and let's create art. This week's theme is recovering a sense of integrity, focusing on taking inventory of our media consumption and how that defines us. The reading, activities, and journal prompts are designed to better understand our self-awareness, how we think, process, and create. Julia Cameron says, for most blocked creatives, reading is an addiction. We gobble up words of others rather than digest our own thoughts and feelings, rather than cook up something of our own. I've noticed lately with overconsumption of social media that I'm constantly getting inspired from other content creators, which is wonderful, but where did my original thoughts and my own inspiration go? When we practice reading or social media deprivation, it's a chance for us to cut out the noise, any external factors that might sway us one way or another with our creativity. I'm taking this time to reflect on the social media content I've created in the last few days, what content I enjoy creating, what I don't, and taking inventory of how social media makes me feel and what small changes I can make to cut out the noise and come back to inspiring myself with my original thoughtful ideas. In last week's The Artist's Way, Julia Cameron talked about the idea of synchronicity and serendipitous moments, events and moments that might make you think twice and be like, is this real? Do I deserve this? She reminded us that when something like this happens, it's important to accept it and then take action, move forward with it. I just had one of those moments this morning after I finished The Artist's Way week 4, just reading through the whole chapter, working on those activities. It's been a pretty draining and emotional last couple of weeks. I this morning, like every morning, write my morning pages, and I decided that I was just so emotionally drained from last night. I was just so tired and I didn't want to write my morning pages. So in my morning pages this morning, I said, I'm only going to write one page. I'm not going to do the whole 3 pages. I'm just going to do one page because I'm exhausted. I have nothing to say. I know that there's good and bad days with morning pages. Some days I can pour my whole mind into 3 pages or more, but today was one of those days where I did not want to finish my morning pages and I didn't want to complete my routine. And I thought to myself, and I even wrote this down, I said, well, I'm going to be doing morning pages for the rest of my life. Ideally, it's okay if I don't do morning pages one day, if I don't finish it. And then Julia Cameron wrote to us saying, I have noticed that many tend to neglect or abandon the pages whenever an unpleasant piece of clarity is about to emerge. How the heck did she know? It's like she knew that I didn't finish my morning pages. And the fact that it happened this morning, wild. Very synchronized, if I might say. And then I have another quote that just really hit home. In short, extreme emotions of any kind, the very thing the morning pages are superb for processing, are the usual triggers for avoiding the pages themselves. And it's crazy because I did just that this morning. And then it really got me thinking about my emotions and what I put on paper, if my emotions and what I put down are real or if they are for the public. And I know my morning pages aren't for the public since I don't share them with you all. I don't even reread them myself. There have been moments and times where I write down, I'm feeling okay, I'm okay. And okay is not an actual emotion, it is not a feeling. And it made me realize that I do that sometimes and I need to focus on my morning pages, and I want to be able to really process my thoughts and emotions and dig deeper during the morning pages. And even Julia Cameron in the intro and first chapter, she said there's no right or wrong way to write your morning pages. It's just writing down your stream of consciousness, what you're feeling. You're just supposed to blurt out your thoughts and emotions at the time. But I realized that I'm not using morning pages to my fullest potential. This was a pretty revolutionary chapter for me. And she even mentioned at the very beginning, she said that we're going to be grappling with changing self-definition and we're going to productively introspect and integrate a new type of self-awareness. And I feel like that's happening right now. I fully understand the idea behind morning pages and how it can actually help me up here, but help me here as well. Chekhov once said, if you want to work on your art, work on your life. In order to have self-expression, we must first have a self to express. And the idea of taking care of ourselves, mentally, emotionally, physically, all of that is so important because that's what's going to feed the art and that's how you're going to get creative. And it's really just a cycle. It's a circle of creativity. I just made that up. And now that I read this chapter, I feel like I have more clarity on morning pages and the purpose and what I want to get out of the morning pages so I can take action and make change. So the second half of this chapter focuses on reading deprivation. And at the beginning of this video, I said I'm tweaking it a bit to where I can read books, but I'm cutting off social media. So I'm cutting off TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. So far, it's been pretty easy, I would like to say. It's only day 2. Yesterday, I got on social media, so TikTok and Instagram, just to upload a post that I was planning on uploading, and then I didn't get back on social media. There were maybe 1 or 2 times where I started opening up the app and then I remembered that I'm not supposed to, so I moved those apps to my health folder, and I haven't used my phone a lot since, which is actually great. I can't wait to see my screen time at the end of the week. And today is day 2. I have mostly just been working on the artist's way, reading the chapter, working on the activities, and journaling specifically. And that's been a really nice way to not focus on my phone or social media. I feel like the artist's way is finally clicking. I feel like I'm actually enjoying the artist's way and I'm being more positive and open about it. See the universe? I'm being open. Do you see that? Do you see that? Who gave me this mic and who gave me this platform? This has been going well, and I hope I'm not jinxing it. I hope I'm not ruining the moment. I'm taking it day by day, and so far, I'm doing wonderful. I was actually terrified for this week and terrified of the media deprivation aspect. But here we are. Deprivation is a state of lacking things that people need or want, resulting from being denied something essential or from the act of withholding something. I chose to eliminate social media for the week because the goal of deprivation is to eliminate distractions and shift your perspective to art, to be creative. And social media is my worst enemy. So I went to the art store to do just that, ditch my phone for some arts and crafts. I know for your artist date you need to be by yourself, but listen. I wasn't going to tell Mark he couldn't come with me, especially if he was chauffeuring me around. I felt like a kid in a candy store. Art is all around us, but I was in a place where tangible art begins, and there's something so magnificent about that. Being in the art store reminded me that art can be shared through many forms, and even just walking around the store can help you feel inspired. Maybe going to the art store was the push I needed. I have a haul. I have a vision. I have an idea. I have some things I want to work on. So I thought I could share what I got for my artist's way and to really work on my creativity. I'm going to take everything out of the bag because I ended up getting some necessary and unnecessary things, but it's all about balance, you know? I got myself this watercolor kit. The brand is called Winsor and Newton. It's a tiny little watercoloring kit. I talked to one of the workers there and asked her if she had any recommendations for a beginner watercoloring artist, because I would like to be one. And she suggested this one because it's compact and the watercoloring squares are refillable, so you can just pick and choose whatever colors you want and then refill it. So it's better for the environment. And then I got myself two Strathmore mixed media paper. They each have 15, which is why I got two of them, so I have 30. Math, brain power, and that way I could use it for oil pastel, markers, colored pencils, kind of whatever, since it is for mixed media. And Mark and I ended up getting the Panda oil pastels. Sorry, there's a glare. There you go. These. I really want to get into oil pastels. I feel like they are crayons, but for adults. Remember when I said I got some necessary items that I was going for, but I also got two unnecessary items. The first one being a mini mannequin. I don't know, it was just there. It's cute. I kind of want to put it on my desk or on my bookshelf. I've always wanted one. Look at it. Cute. And then this last thing, definitely unnecessary. I don't know why I got it. I just kind of want to do it at least once. I am not into Labubus or Lafufus or anything like that. I think, first of all, they're scary and it's kind of like Beanie Babies, and that should have never been a thing, but we're coming back to it. If you're into that, that's great. Personally, me, I'm not, and I wouldn't want to put them around my room or around the house. Instead, I saw the Miffy collector's box, so I thought we could unbox it together. I don't have any of these, and there are 6 styles. I'm not gonna get all 6 styles. I just wanted to try it at least once. I would like the Miffy taking a dip, so the one with the pool, or I wouldn't mind Miffy playing ping pong. All right, shall we? Why is this so hard? Oh boy! ASMR for you. What's it gonna be? I got the jump rope, didn't I? Okay, that's so cute. That's my cutie little haul. My Sunday isn't over yet. I am actually going to create some art. I know I said it's important to find creativity on our own, but I also think it's completely okay to use inspiration from other artists, especially when we're just starting out. One of the biggest roadblocks as a new artist is that I need visual inspiration. My brain is still learning how to translate ideas into images. References and examples help teach my mind how to see, and in turn, how to create. I don't think of this as copying, it's studying. It's like developing creative muscles, and using inspiration from others is just part of the training process. The best way I can describe it is by comparing it to how I visualize stories when I read. When I'm deep in a book, my mind automatically turns the words into a movie. Art doesn't come to me that naturally yet. I'm still learning how to build that same kind of visual imagination. You're probably wondering by now how my social media deprivation is going, and technically I have already failed, and I'm trying not to be too upset about it. Today is day 6, so tomorrow is Thursday, October 9th, and the last day of my social media deprivation for the week. The first few days honestly went pretty well. I was only getting on social media to post some scheduled pieces just to make sure they were up, since they were collaborative posts with some other brands. And then the official week started, and I am not gonna lie, I hopped on social media a few times throughout the day. I wasn't looking at other people's posts, it was more so just to see how my posts were doing. And now looking back to my posts aren't going anywhere. I should have just waited until Friday, October 10th, when this deprivation was over and I was no longer not allowed to be deprived. Is that right? So here's the thing. I'm basically done, but I'm not done yet. I'm proud of myself. I was looking at my screen time, and I drastically decreased my screen time by over 50% since starting this media deprivation. I think that's a win. I think that's great. However, I wasn't following the exact rules of week 4, bad Shuba. I know I can do it, it's just a matter of taking it in all seriousness. And I think it's because I let myself read and I let myself watch things that I sometimes let myself get on social media. And I want to redo at the end of the Artist Way after 12 weeks. I'm going to do this once again, and I'm going to do it right. I am going to cut off reading. I'm not going to watch any media or consume any media. I am not going to get on social media either. And just for a week, I'm going to do it right. Also, it's a great way to reflect on how this week has gone and compare it to the end of the Artist's Way, since I'll be done with 12 weeks. And maybe it'll be a lot easier for me by the end of the 12 weeks for me to do it. So yeah, I just wanted to hop on and say that I technically failed. I'm still proud of myself for the most part for cutting off social media, mostly for the most part. Like I mentioned, I did delete TikTok off of my phone, so it's not on my phone, and I'm going to try to keep it that way. Hopefully that should help decrease my screen time. Tomorrow is the last day of my social media deprivation, and it's the last day of week 4 of the Artist's Way. We'll wrap up this video.